Welcome back, Sixers fans. Look, what an unbelievable night last night was. I had an amazing time watching the game because it was just a roller coaster of emotions from the beginning to the end against the team that I would rather... Oh, man, there's no team I'd rather see the Sixers beat than the Utah Jazz. If you know me, you know why, and my absolute pure hatred for that organization, that fan base, everything about Utah. I can't stand it. That being said, I really want to talk about the game, but before doing that, I just want to ask, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the community, join the family, drop comments, let's talk basketball, and more importantly, let's talk Sixers basketball. Let's get into it. There's so much there, I don't even know where I want to start. I should probably start from the beginning. All right, from the beginning, Utah was hot. I mean, Utah hit 21 threes, I think it was. And the fact that the Sixers even won that game, I think we hit 7 threes overall. I could be wrong on that one. But, I mean, they shot and made so many more threes than the Sixers did, and we still won that game. That shows how elite this team is compared to what it was last year. That being said, we're going to need more shooting. I mean, we're going to need more shooting. We're going to need more scoring off the bench. There was a 7-minute stretch in the second quarter that Doc Rivers had rolled out Shake Milton, Matisse Thybulle, Furkan Korkmaz, Mike Scott, and Dwight Howard for 7 minutes. The team went down 45-32 when they finally put in Tobias Harris. There is no reason that 5 should ever be on the court together, let alone for 7 minutes of a basketball game. There's no reason, Doc Rivers. That is the first gripe I've had with you from the moment you came into Philadelphia. You've done nothing but incredible things, but there is no reason you have those 5 out together for that long last night. No way. You took the Sixers out of the game for a hell of a long time. And that being said, Furkan Korkmaz was an absolute non-factor of last night, and it was incredible that Doc Rivers noticed it and even gave Mike Scott more minutes than him. And I would be all on board with Mike Scott getting more minutes than Korkmaz at this point. Mike Scott's hitting his shots. Korkmaz just sucks and is the worst defender in the NBA. But I tweeted that out last night. If you follow my Twitter, good for you. If not, go follow it. I don't know what you're waiting for. gregmelly27. Hit the link in the description. I don't know. There's no link in the description, but if you want to hit one anyway, find a link in the description to hit one. That being said, dude, the bench can be thanked for the performance and that win last night, though, because if you remember vaguely, the Sixers were in the third quarter and they were kind of getting down a little bit. It was 11 points, 12 points. Every time the Sixers fought back, the Jazz got it right back to 12 points, right back to 13 points, right back to 14 points, until a man named Dwight Howard just went crazy for whatever reason. Dwight Howard was like, let's go back to Orlando for a second. And that man did everything for like a 65-second stretch of everything. Like, legitimately everything. The man had a dunk the next play down on the opposite side of the court on defense, blocked a shot, pinned it against the backboard. I forget who took it. I think it was Donovan Mitchell. I could be wrong. Pinned it against the backboard, then came down and hit a three-pointer. The man has 13 threes in his career and just decided, I'm going to make one tonight. And it was splash. It was a splash. Dwight Howard balled out. But not only that, not only did he hit a three, block a shot, but there was so much energy to that sequence of plays that I credit the comeback to Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard brought energy back to the Sixers, and the Sixers came alive. We went into the fourth quarter only down by 5, which was a miracle, because I don't understand how that happened. And the Jazz were, 19-0 when headed into the fourth quarter with a lead this year, and the Sixers, with Joel Embiid, dominated. I mean, Joel Embiid. I don't know what else to say about him. First of all, I would like to clearly announce that Ben Simmons is arms and legs miles and miles ahead of Rudy Gobert on the defensive end. Joel Embiid had a better defensive performance than Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert was a little child of Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid absolutely owned Rudy Gobert all night long. He had 40 points and 19 rebounds and just bullied him. He threw Gobert to the ground on multiple times, then pinned him, then blocked him, then stripped him, then just went on the other end and dunked on him. Rudy Gobert was utterly awful. Like, legitimately terrible last night. He had, and I was actually live streaming the first half, he had a 1 minute and 30 second stretch of like 2 steals And outside of that, I don't think he did a damn thing in the game. He had standing dunks underneath the rim blocked by Embiid. I mean, Rudy Gobert is so unbelievably overrated that it blows my mind. He is a player to me that the media has just huddled around and has created this narrative of like, oh my God, he's like the generational defensive player. He's a generational guy. But he's not. He's not. He's not worth $200+ million at all. Literally at all. He is the most one-dimensional player in the NBA, and he's getting paid $200+ million to get bodied and dominated by Joel Embiid. Not only that, Ben Simmons had multiple layups and hook shots and just scores over Rudy Gobert. What is Rudy Gobert so good at? That's what every time I watch Rudy Gobert, I am unimpressed. I don't understand what people see in him. He's a really good passer, and I think he's an underrated passer on the offensive end, but he can't shoot. Dwight Howard let him shoot like a 12-foot jump shot wide open. This is a shot that you give me, I am knocking this down. And I am 5'8" on a really good day if I stretch. And Rudy Gobert bricked it. I mean, bricked it. He makes Ben Simmons look like a good jump shooter. Rudy Gobert he had 9 rebounds and like 10 points. He can't score if he's not dunking the basketball. And he's not even that good of a rebounder. Bro, you played 35+ minutes in overtime game and you grabbed 9 rebounds? I'm so unimpressed. I'm so incredibly unimpressed by Rudy Gobert. He's just, he's just meh. You're going to give $200+ million for a meh guy? The Jazz are so good because their supporting cast is deep and really, really incredible this year. No one misses shots. Joe Ingles didn't miss. That man was lethal. And we just continued letting him shoot wide open threes. Bojan Bogdanovic didn't miss. Every single time that man caught it, Mark Zumoff was like, oh, Bogdanovic for the 3. Got it. Because he knew it was going in. The guys don't miss. Jordan Clarkson had a bad game, which I love because Ben Simmons strapped him up. That's for Kylie Jenner. Because apparently Jordan Clarkson's like dating Kylie Jenner now. I don't know. Somebody in my chat told me that last night. I thought that was hilarious. I think it was Melvin. So shout out to you, Melvin. Good looks on that one. Yeah, so I mean, I'm unimpressed. The Jazz have lost 3 of the last 4, I think. A part of me wants to say that they're starting to come back down to earth. I don't think they're the number 1 seed. I had them at 3, and I had them losing to Phoenix at 6, which is crazy because Phoenix is now 2. So the Western Conference is insane. So let's talk about Embiid. Oh my God, where do I start? I mean, it's like there's 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Embiid's like, all right, like let's go win this game. And he just turns his energy up to like 1 million, and he just becomes the most dominant player in recent history. He just becomes like the most dominant player in the game, just like that, just when he wants to. And then he just dominates on both sides of the court, at full speed, just dominating. Like absolutely dominating. There's 10 seconds left, 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and we didn't really have a good possession at all. Like it was pretty terrible. Embiid caught it. He kind of fell over, almost a travel, and then he hits this ridiculous, utterly ridiculous step back 3 with 5 seconds left, which is just, he's the MVP. It's his season. This is Joel Embiid's season. He's the MVP. He is getting nothing but MVP moments, signature moments, memorable moments. He's ran away with this MVP right now. There's not a single player who there is an argument for. There's not. This is Embiid's MVP right now. And ride it, bro. Ride that when it's hot. That's what the Sixers are doing. It was incredible. And Tobias Harris in overtime just did what I was hoping we did all game long and took advantage of a matchup. I love Doc Rivers, and I do. And I obviously love the fact, go to Embiid, he's the best player on your team. Ben Simmons, go to Ben Simmons. He knows how to score the basketball when he wants to. But Tobias Harris had Bojan Bogdanovic on him. And Bojan Bogdanovic is not a good defender. He's not a good defender. Utah is not really a good defending team. They give up a lot of points nowadays. And Tobias Harris finally was like, wait, I'm way better than this dude. Let me drop 11 points on him in the overtime period and just dominate. Possession after possession after possession after possession. I mean, he took advantage of the mid-range, the post. He dominated. Should have did that in the beginning of the game. I think the game could have been out of reach early on for Philadelphia's favor. But what an emotional game, What a way to end the first half. An overtime game against the best team in the NBA. Embiid hits a step-back three. The man is 7 feet tall, 275 pounds, and he's hitting shit like that? Oh my God. You gotta appreciate that. You gotta respect it, appreciate it. Ben Simmons clamped up on the defensive end. I don't want to let that go unsaid. Furkan Korkmaz didn't play. That's probably why we won. It was an incredible game. It was a great game. It's a great way to end the first half. I am interested to see moves that should be made. The more and more I read about Kyle Lowry, the less and less I think he's going to be dealt. But I think George Hill is going to be on the market. Maybe DeLon Wright. There's going to be a stretch 4 available, hopefully. Maybe we can get a J.J. Redick out of a buyout market. Hopefully there are guys that the Sixers can target who can help shooting, who can help the stretch 4 position, and who can help a playmaker off the bench, because the more games we go by, the more and more obvious it is that we still have holes that need to be filled. Pause. I'm ending it on that note. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Peace out. Go Sixers.